I just wanna see a match and get my mother out the hood. Put her in a nice mansion, 80 foot, all wood. Hey, fortune, they been slipping, let these niggas know what's good. Bitch, I come from the...
What's going on, y'all? So we back here with another episode of Out the Mud. We got another special guest right here coming straight out of Washington, D.C., Southeast specifically. We right here with Bully the Fully. Let the people know where you from.
Man, Woodland Terrace, Lynch Mob, Heart of the South, whole rack of that mob shit. You know what it is.
Yes, sir. And so Bully is an artist. He got a nonprofit starting soon. He's just a man with a story, right? And we need y'all to tap in and support. So first of all, one of the questions I like to start off with that I like to ask my guests is how you feeling mentally? Where you at today mentally?
Oh man, I'm peaceful, I'm blessed, you know. Got a second chance to do what I do best and to tap into the people. So it's always a blessing.
Yes, sir. No, I love that. Okay, so let's get into the childhood, right? So one of the things I like to start in is the foundation, right? So coming up in Woodland Terrace, you know, it is known what it's known for. What was it like for you as a kid coming up in the household? Let's start there. Like, did you have mother and father in the household, any siblings?
So my father died before I was born. And you know, my mother, black woman in America, struggling, single household, she went through her changes and trying to find a way, and you know, it kind of broke the home a little bit because my mother had to find her way and she wound up going to prison. So me and my older siblings, my brother and my sister, was separated as a childhood.
Okay, I could resonate with that. First of all, my condolences to your father. I didn't know that. But when I was younger, my 8th grade year my 9th grade year, my 8th grade summer. So my 9th grade year, my whole 9th grade year, my mother was locked up. She did about, I want to say like 17 months. She was out West Virginia somewhere. So I know the feeling, right, of having to go visit her, them phone calls, her not being there, and then you not having your father on top of that. So how did that affect you at that time as a kid?
I mean, as a child, because I had family, so I was kind of sheltered from it.
Got you.
They didn't allow me to know what was going on. So I didn't really know what was going on, I think, until I was in like the 8th or the 9th grade. And then living so many years thinking things was one way.
Right.
And then waking up one day and it's like, oh, your mother on the phone. It changed your whole perspective of life. Like,
right.
Damn, so what been going on these last few years?
Right. And that's kind of the same thing with me. So before she was actually sentenced, she would just be calling home. She wasn't home though. And it's the first time in my life my mother's not around on a consistent basis. So I'm like, where's she at? And my father would always give us some story like she here or she there. And I'm just like, it didn't make sense, but we just taking his word for it. And then one day when she picked us up, I went to Hart, right there on 6th Street by Trent Park. This is like, one day she picked us up from school and she basically just gave us the rundown. Like, she about to be sentenced soon, boom, boom, boom. So she might be gone for a little minute. And she the one that really told us. But beforehand, we didn't know. We just know she was locked up we just know she was gone. And nobody told us. So I get that. Like, they just trying to basically, because they don't want that to affect you emotionally, knowing mommy in jail. How old was you at the time?
When I found out?
Right. Or just period, throughout all of that?
Man, my mother went to jail. It was early. I was a baby.
Okay.
So, like I say, so probably, I don't even think I probably was 2. But my mother like, shout out to my mother though. She a true black queen though.
Shout out my dudes, for sure.
So she had to go through her struggles and find herself. So she had to go through the process of going to jail, then re-entering into society and getting her feet under her and making sure everything was stable so she could get the family back and prove to the government, which is another thing, that she was a fit mother. So I had to survive through the process. And then maybe I was in the 8th grade when my mother started reaching out and calling. So I was talking to her on the phone and she was just like basically introducing herself, like, I'm your mother and, you know, I want to meet you, I want to come get you. And so after them phone calls, I think, like, I would just go sit in my room and just like try to put things together, like, what just happened? Like, my mother?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
So it's safe to say your mother and father was in the streets?
No, my father was actually a police officer.
Oh, okay.
But he died of cancer though.
Okay.
And my mother was in the streets though.
Got you. That's okay. That's different. I ain't
Yeah,
hear. Okay.
I got both sides. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay. So do you hear? So now that of course we grown now. So have you heard stories about your father? I'm sure the type of man he was. If y'all have anything in common, certain things you might do that they say reminds you of him.
So my mother just always talk about him. She just say he was always a good man. He was a
Okay.
provider. He
Yep.
always took care of her and try to, you know what I'm saying, make sure things were situated.
Right.
But you know, he dealt with his illness, so he was on that clock.
Right. 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 So okay. So would you say, and this is me making an assumption. Correct me if I'm wrong. So would you say just dealing with all them things that you dealt with, did that have any part in you getting into the streets? Did that play a part?
Yeah, because it's like when you grow up without that love at home,
Right.
you tend to lead to people pleasing,
Right.
where you want to fit in and you just want to go out your way to show people that this is who I am.
Right. Right. And
Because you never really heard, like as a man, a black man in America, when you don't have a father and you don't have a man in your life to say, I'm proud of you,
Right.
I'm happy, you
Right.
go out your way to please other men to get
Right.
that from them.
Right.
And not having my mother in my life, it led me to running through different females and seeking something from them.
Right.
Them like telling me things that I ain't hear from my mother growing up as a child.
Right. So it was more so like a search for something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And did you ever find that? Did you ever get that?
I found it now,
Right. Right.
but before now, I was lost. I was broken. I was running, like I tried everything. And it led me to going to jail, and like I was just trying to find things to suffice: drugs, streets activity, pleasing people, class clown,
Right.
anything to feel like I had a space I fitted in.
Right. Just to get some form of attention in a sense.
Yeah.
Right. I got that. Okay, so that's part of the reason why I like having these type of conversations, right? Because it's a big misconception. See, of course, regardless of what you want when you in the streets, I feel like a lot of the times it's something missing.
Yeah.
And that's more so like a search for something, right? And a lot of times, because like me and my brother, we grew up in the same household for the most part. If anything, I would leave at times to go like stay with my grandmother or stay with my aunts or somebody just to get away. And we two totally different people, you know what I'm saying? And the transition really came for the most part when we was living in Southeast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, searching for something, right? You get outside, you got your friends out there, the girls outside, it's a lot going on. And ain't nobody really telling you right from wrong. So you're just trying to get in where you fit in,
Yeah.
right? And you're doing whatever you feel as though is acceptable. But see, me being a younger sibling, it was like, nah, I'm cool off that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I had my uncles and all that too. They kind of guided us in a sense, but we still got to become our own men. So for you, right, coming up, would you say, like, did you feel pressure in a sense? Or was it just something that you was trying to prove to yourself?
It was something I was trying to prove to myself, because like I say, so I had two older siblings, right? My brother and my sister. Love them to death. They my shining armor, like I look up to them. So when my mother went to jail, we were separated. So my older brother and my older sister went to stay with my great grandmother.
Right.
And I wound up staying with my godmother.
Right.
So when my mother came home and she got us all back together, and I wound up coming back around my siblings, my brother was already known for being him.
Right. Right.
So now when I'm in the streets and I'm jumping off the porch, I'm going out my way because I don't want to be known as little such and such.
Anything less.
So now I got to prove something to people to get
Right.
my own name.
Right.
And I'm going out my way like
Right.
I'm in any and everything. It
Right.
ain't nothing I ain't trying.
Right, right, right. Understood, understood. Okay, so what was a defining moment for you as a child?
I think the defining moment that woke me up, I caught a charge in 2007. And I was with a few of my childhood buddies. And we was carjacking. Got on the chase with the police. And I'm the only one that got locked up, right? So one of my men, he left his wallet and his ID in the car. So they was already coming to me asking me, who is this, why this? So I'm like, man, I don't know.
Right.
You got it, you need to go question him and ask him why you got it.
Right.
So he wound up getting shot. Then he went to, I think, Greater Southeast, and they had the warrant out for him for questioning.
Mm-hmm.
So they locked him up for the warrant. And then when they locked him up, they came back to me. Now they got his name, all his information. So they like, man, I thought you weren't with nobody. I thought you ain't know.
Right.
So they're like, who is such and such? So I'm like, man, I don't know who that is. Like I told you, like I was by myself. So they're like, man, we got him. He locked up. Ooh. So I'm like, look, what y'all want to know?
Right.
So they're like, man, if you gonna tell us what you know, we want to know who, what, when, where.
Right.
I said, I'll tell you what and where, but I ain't telling you no who's.
Right.
So the defining moment for me was proving that I'm a stand-up man. Like, I took a cop and took a charge to free one of my partners just to show people that no matter what I go through, I always got character.
Yeah, you could take what come with it.
Yeah.
Right. Nah,
And a lot of people nowadays, I don't think they really, like when you, like I had an uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
He like my father, so
Mm-hmm.
he did a lot of time. He was out in the Virginia system. He was robbing banks and doing all a lot of stuff. So he did like a lot of time out Virginia. So when he came home, I think I probably was like in the 10th grade. So by this time I'm off the porch and I'm already doing the little things in the neighborhood. And my aunt that passed, rest her soul, she's a pillar in my neighborhood. So no matter what I would do, it would always make it back to my aunt. So when I started like taking stuff and robbing people, she told my uncle. And he came to me and he always told me, he said, nephew, I ain't gonna get on you, you know, Unc been out here doing this and that. He said, but what I'm gonna tell you is, only break law according to the time you can do. And no matter what you do, never trade on what you started it for. So it's like, always had guidance and morals and principles.
Yeah.
Like some people look at street life and just stigmatize it as, is this, is that, is bad. But I can relate to the people that do it like under a certain criteria.
Yeah, right.
Cause you got people nowadays that just be in the streets and they just be moving. Like when me and my men was in the street, like I had like certain things that I wouldn't do. Like when I was carjacking, if it was a car seat in it, I wouldn't take the car.
Right.
This somebody with a baby. They gotta take their baby to school in the morning. Like we ain't taking that. Or I wouldn't rob females. Like it's certain things that you just don't do.
Right.
And nowadays it's like those morals and principles not installed. I'm not saying, like I ain't promoting go out and break the law.
Yeah.
But if you in the street, I think you should have certain structure as to what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. That's so that's just a thing in your neighborhood, right? Because like I told you, when I did the interview with Millie, he kind of said some things along the lines like, you know, what he got incarcerated for and he turned himself in. And his reason being was because, you know, like you said, it's certain things that you're not supposed to do. And being that situation involved, who it involved, he just said he couldn't live with himself knowing that it was that. And as a man, he got to do what's right. So I respect that. So that's something that's just in y'all neighborhood, you feel like, or, you know.
Shout out to my partner, Millie, man. That's my brother. Like, since I known him, he always stand on what's right. But I'm not going to say just in my neighborhood, but I'm going to say specifically in my neighborhood.
Yeah, well, you're right. I don't want to say just your neighborhood, but in your neighborhood, right.
We grew up under something that's kind of outdated now. We had men that was hands-on, that would see us out, and like, you couldn't even skip school or do certain stuff. Like, men would be like, man, nah, this ain't for you to go to school, or you get what I'm saying? Like, we had hands-on men that not necessarily was our father, but they was father figures.
Yep.
It's like, don't do what you see me doing, do what I say.
Right.
So like, we just grew up under a different like code.
You miss it?
Yeah, I miss it, man.
Yeah.
Cause it's not the same now. Like when we was on the street, like we could be out and we'd be maybe on somebody's porch or in the court. Like when the old ladies, the women or the children pulled up, hey, put that to the side, put the crack game up. Mom such and such coming.
Right.
Help her with her bags.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't smoke in the building, you know, old lady such and such up there.
Right.
We had certain respectful things.
So what do you think, and I ask a lot of people I feel like can answer this, like, I would say, properly, I should say, but what do you feel is the reason for the change? What would you say is what is the cause of the shift in that, like the lack of respect and principles and morals now?
Social media and the platforms, how people using them. And I'm not even gonna blame the people of the social media. I'm gonna say more so, I don't know, I don't wanna get you banned, I don't wanna speak on
Speak
certain
your
stuff.
mind. Speak your mind.
It's, it's a system to everything.
Yep.
So, in America, we be whitewashed. So it's a lot of things that they push on the black society to stigmatize us and place us in a certain box where they want us,
Yep.
so they could profit and make the money.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, like, any business in America, right, you have to sell something in
Yep.
order for it to profit.
Yep. I know
Prison
exactly what you're saying.
is a system.
Yep.
What are they selling for it to profit? People
Yep.
not just going to jail for free.
Yep.
So they gotta sell the drugs, they
Yep.
gotta sell the violence, they
Yep.
gotta sell the music.
Yep.
And now you got all these rappers who can be independent.
Yep.
They don't have to sign under labels. Back in the day when they had to sign under labels, you had to get approval for certain songs before you could release
Yep.
it. Now you could just release anything.
Yep. Facts.
So people
That's
could just
key.
go and say anything, and now you got these immature mindsets who
With
think
influence.
and are influenced by these false narratives and these false realities.
Yep.
Because people rapping about this and this, that, and the other, and they idolizing the wrong people.
Yep.
Like I tell people all the time, if you idolizing a rapper, right, he making these millions and he's saying he out here slamming, he killing, he doing all this and that, how you got time to be on the block all day and he making millions off his music?
Right.
He ain't on the block.
Right. Right.
So don't get tricked. You gotta know what's really like reality and what's false, what's clickbait. And I think a lot of people don't have self-control over their mindsets
Yep.
before they go out and they allow somebody else to influence them.
Facts. Facts. And I want to add on to that too. One thing my uncle told me is, just dying, going to jail, going to the hospital, going to court, like all these, like you said, the system. Us getting in trouble, getting incriminated and things like that, getting locked up and all that, we're keeping somebody, like we're feeding somebody's family in a sense, right? We're keeping somebody employed, right? You go to jail, you got lawyers now getting paid, prosecutors, the judge, investigators, all these different people get paid, the COs. Like you're funding somebody's life every time you get arrested or go to jail and, you know what I'm saying, do time. So that's a fact. And like you said, it's things that they use, mainly the media, that feeds the mind to make us feel like we have to, or in a sense, program the mind to do certain things, right? And even so, like with your situation, right? Being in the neighborhood where that's just the norm in a sense, right? In an environment, Southeast period, Washington, D.C., right? Especially during that time, right? It was different, right? And then even so, y'all was beefing with Big 3-0, right?
Big
and y'all
3-0,
right
Chopper
across
City.
and y'all right across the street.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then Chopper City, what, 5 minutes up the road, not even 10 minutes away? So just being that close from your enemies in a sense, and then, you still got to provide. You still got to do what you got to do on a regular basis. Like, it's a lot that people don't understand that just come with every day just waking up, going outside, right? So when you do get caught up, people that's not involved in that is quick to judge or, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a certain stigma that come with outside
But
looking in.
when they come to judging, right? Being judgmental, you should be grateful before you judge. Because like I used to tell the COs in jail when they used to try to, like, nowadays they got a rack of Africans and they come over here and they feel more privileged and they look down on us like we privileged and we taking advantage of this and the other. So when I would get into it with some of the COs, right, when they would try academia or judge me, I would tell them, you should be grateful for me because I'm paying your check. If I wasn't in here, you wouldn't even be able to feed your family. So be thankful.
So you already knew.
Yeah. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, though.
Right, and they just lost in the sauce. Right. Okay, let's get into the music, right? Let's get into the music. So how old was you when you started making music?
I've been rapping since I was a kid.
Okay, what got you into it? So I don't want to ask the cliche question, of course, like, of course we all grew up listening to music, but everybody don't want to rap that listen to music. Now, given, I'm sure at some point every young kid or every young boy feel like they could be a rapper, right? But it's very few, or it's more than less, that take it serious, right?
Yeah.
So what was it for you that made you want to take it serious and really go all in with the music?
All right, so I'm gonna take you back to the childhood where it started. So music for me it's an scapegoat. So growing up traumatized, going through everything I did, like going in my room, turning on that radio, tapping into BET, Uncut, all this, like it helped me block out society and just get into a certain space where nothing was going on.
Right.
And I could just visualize or identify with the people like, man, I'm gonna be there one day.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and then as a child, I grew up in the church. So I started rapping at talent shows in the church. So I started out with like gospel rap. But then transitioning back to, like I say, when my mother came home, and then tapping back into my roots of where I originated from and where I'm from, it transitioned to a different message.
Right.
Because it's a different reality.
Right.
And I got locked up in 2010. And I got sentenced, I'm gonna say 2011, but before I went out the feds, I was in the hole, November 2011. And somebody sent me this book, Tupac, A Rose That Grew From a Concrete. And I read the poems and the things that he was writing. And I just started writing to get me through what I was going through. Like whenever I would get a bad phone call, get locked down, or CO talking to me crazy, or ain't nobody sending no money, like just grab that pen and that paper and just put it on paper.
So that was your therapy in a sense. How old was you when you jumped off the porch? Because I heard you say when you was in the 10th grade, your uncle came and spoke with you. So that means you was already out there before
like 14,
then.
man.
You was 14. So what grade is that?
I was in the 10th.
Oh, so you started in the 10th.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
I mean, I was, you know what I'm saying, 9th grade, I wasn't really off the porch. I'm in the woods smoking brown paper bags and leaves and parsley in the house when the people gone. And, I'm trying little stuff, but let me say like 14, went to school, my man gave me some weed and, like my men and them, they used to sit in the house and play video games. Like I wasn't into the video games. Like they might blow me out mad 21-0 first quarter. So now I'm sitting there mad. I'm like, man, I'm going outside. Man. Y'all want to sit there and play this dumb-ass game.
Facts.
So I go outside and, outside it's the trappers and the jackers. So I'm more so taking to that. Like, what's the next move? Like, what y'all on?
Right. Did you play sports?
I played basketball.
Okay. You still do?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. I do too. Okay, so I wanna get into really, I want to use your story as like a teaching lesson for the people that's watching, right? And then you have your nonprofit that you're about to start, right? Yeah. And with everything we just spoken about, that's more so like to solidify you, right? Yeah. And not on no like you said, glorifying the streets, but just more so to say you've been through it. So when you're talking to the youngest and talking to the kids, you're not somebody that's just talking. You ain't watching, you ain't getting what you're saying from no movie, from no YouTube video. This your real life experience. You've been through it. So you know what come with being outside. Like you said, you've been incarcerated, you did time. So what is the intention of your nonprofit?
I just want to readjust the narrative that they painting out here nowadays. Like, you don't have to limit yourself and place yourself inside this box. Just because you black don't mean that you have to be ignorant, don't mean that you have to be less than or live a certain type of way. You could still have dreams and goals. Like, don't let people or peer pressure necessarily limit you to make you feel like, oh, I can't do this because they're going to judge me, because you'll be like me and put all that to the side and try to fit in for 15, 20 years, go to jail, and then 20 years later realize like, man, I should have been did that. You get what I'm saying? So I just want to give the kids a space to vent.
Right.
or to be themselves,
Right.
unjudgmental.
Right.
Like, you could be whatever you want to be. Like,
Right.
don't let nobody stigmatize you and make you feel like, oh, because you from the projects, you can't be a police officer, or you can't be a judge, you can't be a teacher. You got, like, the worst thing I hear sitting around black people, right? I had to. It ain't no had to. We make choices.
Yep.
So I just, first of all, I want to say shout out and salute to all the men in the city right now that's taking a platform to push positivity and peace, whether it's health, wellness, violence interrupters, or whatever it is to upbuild the youth, because the youth is the next generation. And if we don't put something into them, then we're going to die off. And that's what they want. They don't want the black culture to survive or to make it past a certain place. So with that being said, we got to start putting something into the youth.
Right. 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 Nah, I fuck with that. I fuck with that. And key point too is, like you said, a safe space for the kids. And that's kind of like what correlates with what you were saying, is searching for something, right? And giving them an environment where you know you can come here, be yourself, be free, ain't got to worry about the outside judgments, like you said, the stigmas, and putting yourself in a box in a sense, right? Nah, that's dope. That's dope. Okay, so what I want to touch on for the most part for real, because as kids, you know, we older now, we more mature, our mind is way different. But as kids, you know what I'm saying, when we was influenced by the things we was influenced by, we didn't think or process things the way we do now, right? So what are some steps it took for you? Would you say, I'm not even going to assume anything or make no suggestions, but what are some steps for you that it took for you to know, like, or even start making the transition, like, okay, this ain't it? Or, because of course, when you're in the streets, it's a fast life. You getting your money, you having your way, you know what I'm saying? You earning your respect, you building your name, and that's the things a lot of people live for. But with, like you said, how old was you when you said in 2010?
2010, I was 21.
Okay, so you was 21 when you caught your first real big charge, right? And during that time, right, psychologically, before, during, and after, like the whole process, like of course you got locked up, then you got to go through the trial and all that, then you get sentenced, and then you got to go through your sentence, and then you come home, right? What did that do for you, the positives and the negatives, and if anything, because you also spoke about like wanting to commit suicide at one point, right?
Yeah.
So throughout all of that time, when all these things is going on in your mind and you living through these moments, what was it for you?
So I'm going to say, so when I went to jail in 2010, they gave me 108 months. It's 9 years. So, you know, I'm 21. I'm still in my youth. So my first bid, I ain't really get it. But I learned a lot, because the politics in jail is different from the politics in the streets. So jail, you learn a lot of structure. It's hands-on.
Right.
It's not no babying you and giving you too many chances of, nah, it's either you gonna do this, and if you don't do it, then this was gonna happen. So at some point you get with it. But
Right.
then, you know, as a man like I am, all right, but this is me and this what I'm on, and I'm gonna do this. I don't care what, you know what I'm saying? So my 8.5 years, because I was only supposed to did, you know, you got the 85%, so I was only supposed to did like 7 years and some change, but I wound up catching a little shot, so I wound up doing like 8.5 years, because, you know, I'm young, so I'm in there running with the young crowd, we robbing, we taking, we just having fun for real. Jail one, like it's like the streets, you know what I'm saying? I'm off the porch, so when I get in there and I see, oh, you could do this in here, you could do that. This ain't nothing like what I was just what I was doing at home. So it's just like a second home for
So
real.
basically, once you figured it out, you was having your way.
Yeah, it wasn't really, it wasn't no punishment.
Right. It felt like a cakewalk to you.
Yeah, so
Okay. Go ahead. Yep.
I had to come home. I went in 2010. I came home the end of 2018. So I stayed home for 4 months. I got caught with a gun. I went back to jail. And then when I went back to jail, that's when it kicked in like, yeah, this ain't it.
Right.
Like, I can't keep being in here, because it was one time in my bed where I was robbing and I was taken, and I had like an epiphany. like, it hit me like, it's men in here. Everybody not gonna keep letting you just handle them a certain way, and dudes don't care, or cause you from DC and y'all rough and y'all got y'all homies. Like, certain people gonna stand up and they gonna push that envelope. Like, it's men everywhere. So I had to sit in my cell and just think one day, like, man, I'm gonna run into that match one day, and either I'm gonna have to kill him or he gonna kill me, and I'm gonna wind up getting stuck in here. Right. So it was like I had to have a deep conversation with myself, like, what you doing? You wanna be a jail politic, or you wanna go home and change? And it was like, man, I wanna go home. Right. So I started tightening up. I started stepping back from certain things, staying away from certain homies, stopped smoking. I started reading books and just tapping into other stuff. Right. And that's really changed my life and like put me in a different perspective.
Right. Because I hear a lot of people say, matter of fact, the other day, I think it was yesterday, Gilly and Wallow posted a clip, and they were saying, I think one of their aunts or somebody called them and said their nephew got locked up, and they was telling her, like, keep him in there, right? Yeah. And their whole point was sometimes some people need to go to jail because it helps you get your mind right. Yeah. So would you say that was something you, like looking back in hindsight, not during that time, but looking back in hindsight, would you say it did something for you for the better? Or like you said, you had to have another bit to learn? Or like, if anything, would you say it taught you anything? Did it make you better in anything? Did it tie you up in certain spaces? Or what did jail do for you, if anything?
I mean, it was a blessing for me because, like I say, like, I was off that porch and I'm real humble. So I don't say things to discredit another man or to make myself seem more, but I was a little more advanced than my circle. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. Like, I would leave my circle and branch off and go tie in with the dudes that was a little more advanced than us. And I would bring that back to my circle. Right. You get what I'm saying? So when I went to jail, it was a lot of things that took place in my neighborhood while I'm incarcerated that a lot of people would say, man, I'm glad you locked up, because if you was out here, you'd have been with that. Or, right. And sometimes it's positive because it was a lot of little stuff that went on. And, you know, I ain't into all this new stuff where people be speaking on bodies and all that.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of stuff that went on where people felt like if you was home, your say-so would have stopped this, or you get what I'm saying? Right. So jail woke me up to a lot of things. It showed me who was who and what was what. And the structure in jail, it really grew me up being around the men, because before I went to jail, I could say I was emotional. I really did a lot of things out of impulsive. I could get mad. I could have some stuff going on in the home, something going on with my baby mother, and then I'd just be like, oh, I'm about to go rob this nigga, or I'm about to go do that. But being in jail, it taught me to really process my emotions, the impulsive thoughts that would just come in and, oh, I'm about to go do this. And then I sit back and say, well, is it worth it?
Right, that's when you started thinking.
Yeah, because now you know both sides. Yep. Before you go to jail, you just hear. Right. Oh, you gonna go to jail, you gonna be dead. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. But being in jail, I lost a lot of my friends. So death now is really a reality. Right. And jail is the reality now. Right. So it's like, when the impulsive kick in, oh, I'm about to go do this, it's like, do I wanna be dead like such and such? Right. Or do I want to be stuck in this gym? Right. Now my thoughts weigh into what I really want. Right. Not what's forced on me. Come on, bro, fuck that shit. This is what we doing. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. I can really, solitude and isolation. It really helps a man figure out who they are. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Facts. So, and that goes back to why I said I will always leave. So me and my brother and my sister, when we was coming up, you got an older brother and sister, so you might can relate. Yeah. We only a year apart each, so it's my brother a year, then my sister another year. She 2 years older than me. So in school, when we get out of elementary, they get out before me. So I'm in elementary by myself for like a year, then I'm right back with them. The same with middle school, then high school, they graduate before me. And before the first time where I ever went to school without them, I was always running like, damn, what it's gonna be like when I'm not in school with them no more, right? And just being in the house with them, it was like, what would it be like if I'm just on my own? So I would do things. So like during certain summers, I would go to Boston for the summer by myself. I would go live with my grandmother for a year or two by myself. Same with my aunt. And really what it was just molding me to get comfortable being alone, right? Being on my own. And like I said, you, my brother, my sister, I'm totally different than them, right? The way I conduct myself, the way I move, how I talk, the way I think. And that's because I had time to be alone and not be influenced by certain things that I seen. Now, I'm not saying I was always an angel with some shit, but at the same token, a lot of the shit that they got into and they still involve themselves in, I'm just like far past. And so I understand that, right? And so with the music, right, and even with the nonprofit, a lot of people that go through what you've been through, that's not something like you said, you would use music as therapy. When you was in there, you had the isolation, it had you start thinking like, okay, the pros and cons. Some people never get to that point. So would you say that you knew at a young age that you always had a light in you, but you was just afraid of like tapping into it? Like you said, you was in a church.
Yeah.
So you had a conscience, right? But then getting outside and being around certain individuals, you kind of, I want to say like, or in a sense, like felt the need to, like you said, your brother had a name. So it's like, I got to prove boom, boom, boom. Did you feel like even during them times, like, I know I'm better than this, or I know I don't have to be doing this, or was it just like you was just so far gone?
Now, I knew I was better than it, but it's like when I showed little signs or glimpses of who I was, it was the criticism. So it's like now I'm like, oh, I can't show that. I can't do that.
Right.
They ain't feeling that.
Right. That goes back to the people pleasing.
Yeah, so
Right.
now it hardened and it
Put a wall up.
made that mask that I
Yep.
just permanently wore now. Like
Yep.
when I come around them, I gotta be this way.
Yeah, I feel that. See, I love how transparent you are, bro. And that's why I like having conversations with people like you, because you're not coming in here still trying to like wear that. It's like, I've been through it, I understand it. And now you telling this, I know somebody watching this, especially like the little clips, they gonna feel that shit. Cause there's somebody right now, 12, 13, like I be around the kids now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, when you around them, like when they around me, they good. Like they the way they conduct themselves is a certain way. Like, and then you hear certain stuff they might get involved with, and you like, you be doing this?
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know how they is when they not around you. So you know what I'm saying? So it's the same with you, where it's like, okay, I know when I'm around them, I gotta be X, Y, Z, but when I'm around them, and that's like you said, that nonprofit, you create that space. Now these youngers who might feel like I gotta be X, Y, Z, they know when they come around somebody like you that's thorough and solid, oh, this somebody that's on that or was on that I know I can be myself around. He not judging me. He not making me feel like I got to be X, Y, and Z. And that's why you doing that is important, because you done had the trials and tribulations, and now you giving back and pouring into the youngest, because like you said, they need it, right? They want to see the youngest out here crashing out, like you said, going to jail, killing each other, not, backdooring, mistreating the kids, they women and all that. And now somebody that been through all of that and know the real cons of it can, shed a different light on it. You get what I'm saying? I fuck with that. So would you say, and it's really for the viewers, but would you say like your name means something in your neighborhood? Like right now?
I'm humble, man.
Just honestly speaking.
I feel like I could sway things and have certain conversations.
Yeah.
But a man gonna be a man. I never approach a situation where I'm telling a man what to do.
Right.
I will just enlighten the man as to, is it worth it?
Right.
Or is you thinking?
Right.
Like, like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm never one of those dudes that approach a situation arrogant or prideful or boastful, like, man, y'all ain't doing that or this, that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I know the times have changed, and I know the approach that I gotta take with the younger generation isn't the same approach that the older men before me took with me.
Yep. And that's the same way that okay, so that's how I am with my daughter, right? So the way when I look back, I feel like how my father was with us, it was more so like, and me, like I said, so I kind of study psychology. I'm into human behavior, right? But before I had my daughter, I didn't care to understand anything, right? And I had a big rebellious against my father, because it was like the way he handled situations with us, it wasn't like he really taught us anything. Like a lot of the shit that I know, whether it's in the streets or just period, came from my uncle. Because my uncle was the one that told me, learn your history, learn your laws, learn this, that, and the third. Don't worry about these neighborhoods because the white man own it. You're going to die for a neighborhood, the white man own this shit. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, he telling us this 12, 13 years old. And so when my father was like, we do something wrong, we might just get a whooping or it's just a form of discipline, but it ain't really no lesson in it. So now, like me, I was the type, if I got a whooping for something and I don't understand why I got in trouble for this, I'm going to go do it again. But this time around, I'm just going to do it better so I don't get caught. That's how I responded to it. But it was always this anger. But then once I got older and I had my own daughter, and I realized, like, damn, once you have a child, it's a lot that come with it. And he had 3 by the time he was my age.
Yeah.
And, you know, his father, my grandfather, now, like I said, this like happened after I had my daughter. The understanding came. It's like, damn. So it's like, he really just didn't know. You get what I'm saying? In his mind, that's how he was raised from his father. It was just discipline. So when his mind,
down.
you know what I'm saying? And me talking to him recently, like he told me, he was like, I don't look like what I've been through. You get what I'm saying? And my father, he real office. It's a certain way he carry himself, but it's not something you just understand because he don't explain it. You just get it if you get it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that speaks volumes. So what does respect mean to you?
Compassion and understanding. Giving a man room. Like, nobody perfect. And you have to leave some type of, I'm trying to think of the word that I want to use. I don't know if it's relief, but like it goes to what you're saying. You got to understand that the people before us, they only doing what they was taught.
They doing their
You
best.
get what I'm saying? And it's no blueprint to being a leader or to being a parent. You can only pick it up as you go as to what you see or what you come up under. So, like, it's a book that I've read. You know, I consider myself to be intellectual, and I read a couple books. I ain't gonna say a lot, but you know I'm humble. But I read this book. It's called Black Love is a Revolutionary Act, right? And as a
Yeah.
black man in America, we have to first understand our origins and our roots. I tell people all the time, in order to understand a thing or who a person is, you have to go back to the origin where it originated from. So we as black people, we come from slavery. So like you were saying, the beating the child, right, and not really telling them what it was from. So in slavery, right, in this book, beating a child, right, you know, the white people will put the whip on the black people for a person doing something that they deemed not right. So before a parent would allow the slave master to put the whip on the child, the parent would take it upon theyself to discipline the child.
So they don't have to deal with the slave master.
And that beating has transpired down to disciplining your child. But people don't know what the disciplining your child from that time was. It was to save them from a more crucial pain or somebody else. I'd rather me do it to you than they do it.
That's deep.
So,
That's deep.
but nowadays, it's like things not having understanding of what it come from or what it's for. People will beat their child nowadays just off strictly frustration.
Right, facts.
You get what I'm
Because
saying?
they emotionally unstable.
And then the child will grow up, like you say, I ain't learned nothing from it. I don't know why my father or why my mother was beating me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But
that's deep.
I think, to me, respect is giving a man, or not just a man. When I say man, I speak in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mankind. Giving a person a say-so or a choice and allowing them to be them. What I feel, what I like, what I don't, that's for me.
Yeah.
That don't apply to you.
Right.
Like, cause you do that,
that's on you.
That's on you.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I respect you. Cause either way, whether it's good or it's bad, I'm still in the position where I can learn something from it.
Right.
It's always, it's two sides to everything. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I learn from the good just as well as I learn from the bad.
Right.
So when I see you do the good, now I know I gotta align myself with that in order for me to succeed.
Right.
And when I see you do the bad, I gotta stay away from that so I
Right.
won't go down them same paths.
Right.
So
Right.
respect is just giving a man his just due and allowing
That
him to be him.
that's humility, right?
Yeah.
And see, I'm trying to get to the root of that, right? Because I feel like, of course, it comes with time, but also, like me, I don't look at age as because you a certain amount of age, you just got X, Y, and Z, right? I feel like that comes from experience. And two, that's why a lot of the youngest in the city is a little bit more advanced than most places because their experience is coming up. Like you even said, right? You was born, your father's not in your life, and then your mother's in prison. Like the average kid just don't deal with stuff like that. Yeah. So having to come up and just adjusting and figuring things out on your own and how you did figure things out, that kind of, and like you said, out of your clique, you was the more advanced one. So you going around more advanced individuals, and then you bringing that back to your crew. Everybody don't got that experience. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like I feel like that's the what I would say leads to, like you said, humility, maturity, understanding, right? Just I think it's experience. A lot of people say it's age, you get older. It comes with it too at the same time. But what you just explained with the respect, it's also a mix of humility, right? Because a lot of people feel like you said, when I asked you, do you feel like you got to say so your name matter in your neighborhood? You chuckled and you said you humble, right? I know what you're saying without saying it. But at the same token, a lot of people wouldn't take that approach. Be quick to, you know what I'm saying, boom, boom, blah, whatever that may be, right? So where does that come from for you? You get what I'm saying? And two, because I really want to get into the music, right? And I want to have this conversation before we tap into it so they can understand it a little better. Because at least for me, before I listen to an artist, I want to at least hear them have a conversation so it can make more sense, right? Especially if you're talking a certain talk, right? So for you, like, what would you say? Because I feel like I understand it, right? This is really for the viewers, but what would you say it came from for you? Because you didn't have the father figure, but you had father figures in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't have like your siblings your whole life until, like you said, your mother came home. But even then, if it's 12 years old, 13 years old, whatever that is, that's still a lot of time without. And then just coming around them at a certain age, and that affects certain things. So what was it for you that made you come to this ground of like, because even like you said, when you was 21, you got locked up, you figured it out, you was in there having your way. So even still, in your early 20s, you still kind of was a little loose, right? So what was that moment? Or you kind of explained it already now that I'm asking you the question. You said you had an epiphany. But even still, you got locked up again when you came home 4 months later. And then even then, what you said, you wanted to take yourself out, right? I want to get into that too. But what was it for you, if you do know that moment where it was like, or even if it was moments that led up to it, but where you found this place within yourself, you know what I'm saying? This peace, this humility, this humbleness, where it's like, you know what? I don't gotta prove myself to these niggas. I ain't gotta try to explain or try to prove. Like I know what's up with me. Like when was that? When was that moment for you?
It was being incarcerated, right? And what really brought everything to full fruition for me, right, is because the same people that I thought I had to prove something for, it turned around and them turned into being the same people that I really realized that these dudes really love me genuinely, sincerely, and really see something in me more than the person that I was portraying to be to them. Like, I used to feel like I had to be a certain type of way around my friends, right? And I was one of the ones in my circle that constantly went to jail or did a lot of time. And when I'm in jail, my friends that I thought I had to be a certain type of way around, like they was disappointed in the path that I was taking. Like, bro, when you gonna get it together? Like, how many times you gotta go to jail before you? So it's like now I'm sitting and I'm realizing like, they see something more in me than what I'm portraying to be.
Oh, so it was other people pointing to you that kind of helped you
wake me up.
Yeah, wake you up. Yep.
Because I got so much into people pleasing that I lost sight of who I was. And it took for the people around me that cared about me to really bring me back into that reality. Like, bruh, I don't love you cause you rob or you do. Like, I don't fear you. I ain't scared of you.
Right.
I deal with you because, well, you genuine, you humble, you really a good dude.
Yeah.
Like, you really could do more than what you doing?
Right.
And I had to start sitting in my cell, like I used to get on the phone with my men and have conversation that made me feel like in my feelings.
Right.
Like, man, anybody trying to hear that? Man, you keep doing this dumb shit and this and the other. It's like, man, who you talking to? Like, man, like, cause I'm feeling like this person that I'm being, this is the person y'all wanted.
Right.
But now when I go back to my cell, it's like, damn, it ain't need registering to them. So, like, what's really the bigger picture right here? And so now when I'm sitting, it's like, what's next?
Right.
Because this ain't it.
Right.
This ain't even fitting in my hood.
Right.
Like,
Right.
this ain't me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
This is who I thought I was. This not who they looking for.
Right.
So now I gotta soul search and really find out who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I start bringing that more intellectual, that more humble, that more compassionate person back to the forefront, because I realized that the people around me, this is what they really was thriving off and really more genuinely needed me to be.
Right. Excuse me. Right. Right. So, and I'm gonna ask, because you said you read books. Did you like build a relationship with God in that during that time?
Yeah.
What are some other things you did during that time?
So I went from, like I said, I grew up in the church. Then when I went in jail, I transitioned to Islam. So I was studying Islam for a while. So it was just a lot of soul searching. And I read this book, right? One of the big homies introduced me to this book. It's called Mind is Master by James Allen. It's a treasury. So it's like all 19 of his books in one. When I read this book, it changed my life and my perspective of how things are. And once I started reading this book and applying things to my situation, first of all, hold myself accountable was the first thing that really made this book really be what it was. Because now I'm reading things and I'm not applying this to as what this person did or that person did. I'm applying it to as where I went wrong or what I did. So now this is what's changing me.
Yep.
Because now I'm recognizing that I have character flaws.
Yep.
I'm not as perfect or as man that I thought I was.
Right.
And it's a lot of things that I could tighten up on. So I started just being humble and open-minded.
Yep.
And just allowing myself to sit in the company of more intellectual, more educated men that could teach me things. Not saying that, oh, I'm Muslim, I'm only gonna be with the Muslims. I can sit with the Christians.
So you took a step back, and you was able to allow yourself to, in a sense, submit to the idea of being a student.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one thing I'm glad you said, accountability, because I actually meant to ask you about that earlier, because I was getting it as you were speaking, is you hold yourself accountable, right? Yeah. And I want to highlight that for the viewers that's watching, mainly the youngest too, is because that's a major thing. When you can look at yourself and you can, in a sense, like, highlight or point out your own flaws. Like, this is where I went wrong. This is where I was lacking. This is where I was, in the wrong. And you can look at yourself and tell yourself first that this is where I should have did X, Y, Z, or got, you know what I'm saying? You could tighten yourself up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I can sense just by listening to you talk. Like you said, somebody gave you a book, or like even with you going to the people that was more advanced than you, then taking it back. Right, and then while you in jail, the epiphany you had, right? Yeah. All of that is like a form of accountability, being able to say, you know what, it's me, right? That's big.
I believe, right, the transitional point of becoming a man is accountability.
Yeah.
Until a man stops blaming other people and pointing the finger, then he won't elevate to becoming who he really is.
Yeah.
He'll just be living through their flaws, and it's like this thing where if I could point a finger at you and put you down, then I'll feel better of myself.
It's a coping mechanism.
Exactly.
Yeah, my father just told me that the other day. I swear to God, not the other day, like a couple weeks ago, but it felt like the other day because it's so fresh on my mind. But we was talking about somebody who was doing that, right? Blaming other people, things they dealt with when they was young as to why they are still the way they are now. And he was saying that's a coping mechanism. You smoking, you drinking, and you using what you went through as a child as an excuse as to why you're doing what you're doing now. That's just your way to justify why you're not doing what you need to be doing, right? And that's literally what he said. Real live. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's law. That's law. Okay, so oh man, I love these type of conversations, bro. Cause I could just
We
sit
gonna
back
get
and
deep.
listen.
We
I
gonna
love
really,
these. I
listen.
love these. I love these. Okay, so the music. I do want to get into the music because that's what you do, right? But I feel like you're more than just music, right? Like just listening to you talk, but at the same time, that's how messages get relayed, and they're receptive, I should say, quicker through a song or through a, like, you know, even with interviews, but songs are like 5 minutes, 3-4 minutes. It's easier for them to get a message through a song than watching something that's an hour long or 45 minutes. So how would you describe your music to somebody that never heard you rap?
So I'm gonna say, right, I'm more of on the trap storytelling type time, right? You know, I grew up under Jeezy, Lil Wayne, T.I., them type of rappers, Boosie, where they was kind of transitioning from the streets,
Yep.
from in the streets to industry, but painting that picture of where they come from to where they at now.
Yep.
So my thing is, like, I'm a rap and I'm gonna give you that street, that gutter where I come from. So, cause I know that's what draw the crowd in now.
Yep.
But when you tap into my platform and when you get to know me and I know I got your attention, then that's when I can lock in with you and really get that one-on-one with you and let you know, like, man, this music, this is an entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, I want to correct the narrative where people think now, like, to be a rapper, you have to be a street person, you have to go to jail, you got to kill somebody, you got to sell some drugs. Nah, that ain't that.
Right.
That's
Right.
just, rapping is just entertainment.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
most rappers that's successful now, they transition from being in the street. Like, when Diddy found Biggie, he took him out the street. Like, man, you want to get this money, you got to leave that alone. And,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Tupac, he was ballerina, acting, and like he wasn't really in the street.
Yep.
You can't be double-minded. You can't straddle the fence and
Yep. Play both sides.
like, you got rappers now, right, that straddle the fence. Rest in peace to King Von. Straddling the fences, that's what get you. Lil Durk. You know what I'm saying? Not to speak down on people, I'm just trying to paint a
As an
picture
example,
of a
they're just
narrative
examples.
of
Yep.
where straddling the fence gets you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
even Bobby Shmurda. Yeah.
it takes away from your success, like Jay-Z, like Master P.
Yeah.
These are pillars in the rap industry where they paint a picture, and if you idolize them and you critique their character and go and study them and see the transition, at some point they woke up and they had to realize that, man, I can't do both. Either I gotta pick this or I gotta pick that. And if I pick this, then it's gonna take away from what I'm trying to do over here.
Yeah.
And at some point in a man's life, and when I say man, like I say man, I'm saying mankind.
Yeah.
Man or women, you have to pick and choose if this is more important or this is more important.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want people to know that, like, I'm transparent, so I could tell you, like, I can get in the studio and tap into this bully character and rap all this gangster shit. But if you catch me in real life, man, I'm about the family. I'm trying to go to work and I'm trying to get some land. I'm trying to invest. Like, I ain't on. I don't have to spend and go and do all this to be a rapper.
So, but at the same token, right? Because I want to just be transparent, right? You're somebody who had already been through the trials and tribulations, so you already, in a sense, solidified yourself, right? To go into what you were saying, a lot of artists, they're not on that at all. And then they get into this music game and they trying to compete with these other artists or keep up with this image of what they think that, like you said, it's entertainment. And they trying to prove like this is really me. And a lot of them don't be in the streets and they get into this music game and they try to start getting into the streets, and that's where a lot of them go left because this not really you, and you playing a game that ain't really for you, and this dudes that's out here that know this not you, but they'll let you come around because you got some clout, you got some traction, you gonna bring some money in, might bring the bitches in, get us in the club, and boom, 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 and now you in jail or you get killed, and their life go on. You get what I'm saying? So for somebody like you, because you already had the experience, you don't feel the need to have to prove yourself to nobody. And you're wiser now. So versus somebody that's like 20, 21 years old and they coming out the gate and, they come into the game with good intentions. They just want to make music, but then they realize like, damn, this ain't getting the attention that I want. Maybe I got to tap into this because this is what people seem to like, and they lose their self. Right? So somebody like you said, in real life, stand-up individual, you about your kids, your family, like you said, business, going to work, you want to buy some land, you want to be a productive individual, right? You know what's going on. A lot of them don't know what's going on, right? So what is, you giving them game as you speak, like this game in your story, right? But I don't want it to go over their head. So like to them individuals that feel the need to, like, what's your message to them?
Be yourself. Like, authentic talent and character is what pushes you and elevates you, because those people who higher up, who have a track record of finding people, they are looking for a certain thing. It's not a lifestyle, it's not an image. It's something that they listening for and something that they could see. And you got to understand that trying to get a deal or trying to make money and you come in with the street mentality, they got to factor in certain things. Are he in the street? So if I sign him to this $70,000 deal, how much of that am I going to make back if he's in the street? Because now he going to go to jail.
Right.
He might get killed. We got to pay for lawyers. Like, you a liability now.
Right.
You gotta understand the difference between being an asset and a liability. It's a lot of things you gotta factor in before you can really understand which path and direction you going in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, I just think my main message to the youth is just be yourself.
Yep.
Like, if it's for you, it's gonna work. If it's not working, it's because you're forcing it, and that might not necessarily be what's for you. Like, I'm really kind of disappointed with the rap game now, right? So, I'm gonna tell you about a funny experience I had. So, like I told you, I was rapping since a kid, before social media and all that. So when I went to jail, people didn't really know. I didn't have the buzz of the social media and all this, that, and the other. So I'm probably about 7 years into my bid on my way home. So I was talking to somebody on the phone one day, and they like, "What you in there doing?" I'm like, "No, I'm working on my music, writing this, that, and the other." So by this time, everybody rapping now.
Yeah.
So they tell me, "Oh, you want to be a rapper? Everybody out here rapping."
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel some type of way, like, well, I've been putting all these years into my craft and working, and it's like, they ain't nothing no more. They ain't need. But I'm disappointed because it's like, take basketball or football. If a dude get on that field or that court and he's some trash, they ain't picking him. Bob, you this ain't for you, Bob. You some trash. You ain't getting out here. But with this rap stuff, anybody rapping. Like, when we gonna start telling dudes like, yeah, bro, that's trash, bro. Try something else. That ain't for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, these are crafts. These are careers. Everybody don't make the cut.
Facts. Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think people? Because back then it was a thing. If something wasn't good, they'd just tell you.
Because back then it was talent, but now it's more so, if this dude coming with this lifestyle, he coming with this jewelry, he coming with these war stories.
It's more so about the perception.
Now they just quick to ride a wave, like, oh, my man, he from such and such, and he be with such and such and them, and his music hard. And then you'll go listen to it and you be like,
on my soul.
What?
On my soul.
This the nigga they bumping?
They more into, like you said, the image and what they're selling. So like, if you from a certain hood and your hood known for X, Y, and Z, we gonna support you just because of that. And given if the music aligns with what the neighborhood is known for, we gonna back your play just because it fits. And then we got a thing too where it's like, especially mainly like in the city where it's like, we want to support niggas that represent the city versus their talent. Like you see how Wale got this hate, people to say whether he from here, this, that, and the third versus just his talent. It's like, we don't want to support you because you're not from here versus you're talented or not talented. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not a real, like you said, it's not a real thing where it's like, we like you simply because you good or not. It's more so about what you promote, what you want, what your background is, where you from, who you know, who you standing side by side with. And now people more so, they're not gonna be transparent and just say, look, bro, this ain't it. We're gonna say, nah, you look sweet. And this ain't got nothing to do with being good as an artist. You just look sweet. You got the image. Oh yeah, you represent what we need to be seen from out earlier. And it's like, yeah, but how far would that get you? You know what I'm saying?
Or like how I look at it, right? How far is it getting us?
Right. Like
They pushing
like
this genre
Yep.
from DC. And it's like, I don't take shots at people. Like I just put things in the proper perspective, right? So DC has this form of rapping right now, free car rapping, right? And everybody now that's hopping into the game, they taking to this same beats and this same flow, this same genre. If it was so much buzzing, why is nobody making it nowhere with it?
Right.
It should make you go back and think like,
Right.
Rock Nation ain't signed it, Def Jam ain't signed it.
Yep.
So what is it?
Right.
It's just some city buzz.
And that ties into what you said earlier. A lot of them don't make it too. You got some people, as soon as they about to, even the artist that is about to make that breakthrough, they might get locked up. Like what's his name? Semi Homie.
And that's what I'm telling you. It goes back to what I was telling you.
Yep.
So your song might make it to Def Jam, Rock Nation, or whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now they got to do their research. Who's this such and such with this album? Now they looking you up social media. They looking into your background. Oh, nah, he too active. That's you a liability. You ain't an asset. So now they not trying to buy into that because they gonna lose more money than what they spending on you.
Facts. And people don't understand when it comes to and I'm glad you said that because that ties into just the business of it. Labels not coming to you giving you a handout. That advance they give you is a loan.
They want that money back.
They want that money back.
Exactly.
And a lot of people think, oh, you streaming X, Y, and Z. No, that goes to the label because they're trying to recoup what they paid you.
Yeah.
That's just more so saying, okay, this what we believe you worth. If this first go around, whatever that contract is, if it's 2 albums, 3 albums, 5, if when that time is up, if you recoup that money that we gave you, okay, we see you a good investment. Let's go with another deal. If not, okay, and they still might give you another deal if not. But now you just put yourself more in the hole because you ain't recouping no money. You put yourself
It's
more
like
in the
going
debt.
into the league. You get that rookie contract.
Yep. And now after that rookie contract up, what have you done to kind of justify your next contract? Right. Is it going to be up there with or is it going to be around with that first deal? Right.
You either a bust or you that.
Nah, for sure. And that's the thing I feel like that ties into all of this in full circle is they don't understand it's a business. A lot of them just doing it because they want the clout, they want the girls, they want to look sweet, not understanding like this is a real business. And then even outside of that, y'all are, like you said, it's entertainment first. Well, business first, then entertainment, but it ties hand in hand. Y'all are incriminating yourself and putting yourself in situations where you could lose your life or go to jail, lose your freedom, affecting your parents, your kids, your family, your friends.
You could take down the whole.
I'm telling you.
You could take down the whole incorporational industry. You could create you get signed to this label and then you bring them down on the RICO.
Yeah.
You be on some YSL.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And and people still don't learn from that. You get what I'm saying? It's like, and part of that is too, people feel like it won't happen to them. Like it won't be me. And then when it is your ass, you realize like, oh shit, now it's too late. You looking at 10, 15, 20 years and it's like, nigga, now like you said, you thinking, and some people don't even do that. A lot of, I done heard niggas say like, shit, it's only 15, I'm cool with that. It's like, yeah, that's probably a good way to go into it so it don't like stretch, but at the end, it's still 15 years of your life. One thing we don't get back is time. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of these youngins is just, and that's why what you're doing is important because they need to see both sides of it or hear it at least. And with you coming out with the way you're coming about it, whether the music is trap or whatever, your message has a certain intention, right? Because you got people like, one of my favorite artists is Gates. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't support it. But I like his older music better. But he'll talk what he talk in his music. But when you listen to him, like we sitting down having a conversation and you see how he think and his message, it's like, oh shit. Like
one of the realest thing, I was just listening to a podcast with Gates. And that's one of my favorite rappers too, right? And one of the realest things I think he said about his past, he said, I was faking.
Yep. Yep.
A lot of men can't admit that.
Yep. Yep.
They can't admit that
Yep.
a lot of the things that I did in the street, I was emotional.
Yep.
Or I was faking. Or I
Yep.
was searching.
Yep.
A lot of dudes gonna go to their grave and act like, nah, that's just me. That's just in me.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
nah, that ain't in you.
Yeah, and then one thing he said, he was like, he was in fear, right? And he said he
Yeah.
had a fear understanding. And one thing he said too was he had a little short clip he put on Instagram some years ago where he was like, always the one, he said he always thought he wanted to be a gangster. And then he realized the dudes that, you know, like the older individuals that made him feel like that's what he needed to be, they wasn't on what they had him on. They sending you to go do X, Y, and Z, but they wouldn't even go do that. So now you out here doing something trying to impress them, and they ain't even built like that. And once you figure this out, it's like, damn, I've been fucking myself over for these niggas who ain't even really, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying, more in a humble, respectively way, right?
Yep.
Because I love the dudes that I grew up with, right? Like I say, I thought I had to be a certain way to fit in.
Yep.
But when I kept going to jail and they wasn't, and then I started looking at things like, oh, I'm doing this, I was doing that to fit in with them, and then I look back and it's like, dang, they out there with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
They out there working, man. They out there doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whole time, that was the life that I was supposed to been living.
Right.
You get what? I
Yep.
got
Yep.
lost.
Yep.
I got
Yep.
tricked.
Yep. 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 So I wanna transition to something else that I haven't talked to you about that I talked to with if you a father, right?
Yeah.
So how many kids do you have?
So I got 2 biological daughters, but through my marriage, I got 3 kids through my marriage, so I got 5 kids altogether.
5 kids altogether.
All girls.
Oh, damn. Hey, bruh, I ain't even got to ask you, but I'm going to ask you anyway because I got a daughter myself, right? And like I told you, my daughter's 6 now, right? And my daughter has a speech impediment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, she is literally the main thing I would say. I don't want to say the one and only, but the main thing that keeps me in such a positive mood, keeps me uplifted, and just always keeps me going because just watching her go from when she was a baby and they telling us she might not be able to talk, she won't be able to pronounce certain words, and seeing where she at now and the strength she has every day because she understands, right? My daughter knows at her age that like she don't talk like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
At certain times she might say certain things and they don't understand what she's saying. There's times we'll go around people and she won't even waste her time talking because she know they won't get it, right? And hearing how she pronounce certain words now, how she just so much more confident in talking and she more out there than she was before, like just watching her growth is humbling for me because now something as simple as being able to speak, I can't take for granted, right? You never know what somebody's going through, what somebody's been through as a child up until there as an adult. It's just like you said, you have that humility. She taught me so much just in watching her grow. So what has having your kids done for you?
It makes me appreciate the genuine, complete, like wholesome of life when you could see a child, right? And it's like they're oblivious to what's really going on in the world.
Yes.
Like they so pure, they so kind. And before they go through a trauma or something that like I've been through that broke me and took me away from being able to process my emotions, to be happy or to trust people in the deal. Like my youngest child, 2 years old, like I get a joy out of just watching her just be happy.
It's beautiful.
All day.
Man.
Like,
man,
I could discipline her and then like 1 minute later, it's like, Daddy, I love you.
On my soul. Oh my God.
Like they don't carry nothing.
Yep.
And it's like,
Yep.
I wish I could get back to that
Yep.
point where I stop carrying things and being resentment
Yep.
and hating people
Yep.
and feeling certain type of ways.
Bruh. On my soul, bruh. And that shit is priceless. And that's why I said you having all girls, bro, just to bring around all that, like that soft energy. And like you said, watching them grow and them being just so pure. It's like you just want to protect that so much. And you feel like, and then we just got to accept at some point, like we can't protect them from everything, but we're going to do what we can, our best to make sure we protect them as much as we can. But they still going to have to at some point go out in the world on their own, have their own experiences. And it's like, me, it's like, I don't want to say I'm afraid of it because it's like it is what it is, but it's like it's just that reality that you just gotta accept. But at the same time, these moments that we have now, I cherish it even more because you know, like, it's not gonna be like this forever. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna make this the best that I can and do the most I can with it while I have it and just enjoy it, bro. And that's, I love that shit, bro. I love it, bro.
And see, that's the bigger part of it. Like, the more you invest in it now, it gives them that safe space to always, no matter, even if it do deter for that, if it go left, they can always come back to that safe space of, I want to get back to that. I remember when times used to be like this. So they'll always, so even if something go bad, they gonna still always be searching for that good that you installed in them. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I just be looking for, to try to be a certain figure in my daughter's lives of.
What you wish you had. Yeah, because that's me too, bro. Like how I said about my father, like, I want my daughter to know, like, if it's nobody you can go to, you always got me. I don't care what it is. You could be transparent every day. And she get tired of me, bro. Every day I ask her, how was school? How was school? You had a good day? How was your teachers? How was the other kids? And she's like, it was good. Oh my God. And this her response. Oh my God, you ask me every day. Because she don't get it now. In her mind, it's like I'm repeating the same thing. But at some point, she'll understand it's because I care. I just want to make sure she's straight. But I don't have that, right? Like if I'm going through something, like I can call my grandmothers, right? I can call my grandmother, you know, she a big Christian, but she's not the type of Christian that judges. She don't force the Christianity on you. She don't force but she gonna give you some scripture. She gonna give you some game, and she always speak like with humility. But when I talk about my grandmother, I don't care what it is you talking about. She gonna speak from a place of like love and understanding, not judging you. So I could talk to my grandmother. That's really probably it. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows me. She understands me. But like I don't have the mother or father that I can go to and I could just like be transparent with. Like I feel like with my father I could. I just don't give him a chance. Because at times when I do call him and we have conversations, I realize like, and my father y'all cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when I take the past feelings I had for him away and realize like he was young when he had me, he was doing his best. And now he at where he at now. I had my own child. We was his kids and understanding what he had to deal with raising us. And I could just like boil all that up and take myself out of it. It makes it easier for me to go, like, he a man just like me. You know what I'm saying? And now he's wiser, he's more mature. My father's totally different now than he was before, but I just want to create that space for her because I didn't feel like I had it coming up. Like I had it with my uncle, but he lived hours away now. So, you know, he got his own thing going on. But just, I want to create the space, like you said, that I didn't have for my kids. And I enjoy it, bro. And you got 5 girls, bro. So I know the patience done improved, right? Like even now, just seeing how you talk now, the humility done improved. Like, and all that comes from unknowingly just having little girls around you. Because you can't be aggressive with them. You can't be super tough with them. You can't be super masculine with them. It's like you gotta learn how to, in a sense, like be feminine in a sense, right? If that makes sense. Like you can't just always be super macho with them because you gotta learn how I will handle my men or my brother or my nephew or a man. That's not gonna resonate with them because they respond differently emotionally, right? So I love that, bro. I love that, bro. I love that. Damn, what else? What haven't we talked about, bro? I know we could talk all day. What haven't we tapped into? What you want to get off your chest?
I think the biggest thing that I think that men have to get to, right, is that a man isn't just this hard, aggressive, emotionless person. Because if you tap into that, you will desensitize yourself and suppress certain things and bottle certain things for years that you won't really know that's affecting you. And this will cause you to miss out on opportunities, miss out on relationships, a lot of things. And if you like me, I held things in so long, being abandoned, being adopted, going to jail, family dying, friends dying. So much of this stuff bottled up inside of me from not being able to let it out.
Right.
That I felt like at one point, man, I'm tired. Like I'm in a cycle, like a never-ending cycle, like it's never gonna end and I can't get out of it. And before I keep going on with this, because at the end of the day, it's not bringing me any type of joy.
Right.
Like I'm not getting nothing out of it.
Right.
I'm losing more than I'm gaining.
Right.
And mental health, like that's what I'm pushing. Mental health, like go get you a therapist. Find you somebody that you could talk to, like even if it's just your woman, like, or your man, like whoever it is, it has to be somebody where you feel vulnerable enough and open enough where you could go to them and say, baby, this is what I'm dealing with, or today I'm feeling like this. And like you have to find that safe space where you can open up and you can confide. Like that's my major message. Like let it out.
Would you say like everything you just said, like bottling all that stuff and holding, is that what led to you wanting to make that decision?
So I had a suicide attempt in, what was that? February 2023, right? And I was going through so much stuff. Like I say, I had that people pleasing, and it's like I felt like people knew me from my past. And it's like now I changed and I'm ready for certain things that I wasn't ready for back then. And no matter how much I do now and try to show people like this is who I really am, or I've grown from this, and they will always revert back to
Right.
prior things.
Right.
And it's like no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough.
Right.
And I just felt like people couldn't really see me for who I am.
Right.
And being humble and being the accountability type of person, any situation I approach, I always look at it like, what did I do?
Right.
So I felt like I was causing pain to people that was close to me that I really wanted to see happy. And in this moment, I felt like the only way I could make these people happy is if I was no longer here.
Right. Right. So do you believe in, or not even believe in, but do you let go of people that you feel like at this point now, would you say that you let people go that can't accept you for who you are now and still hold on to your past?
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah.
I got to.
Because I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because,
it like I say, I approach every situation like humbly, no disrespect, but it's like I'm not there.
yeah.
And it's like you at a place where everybody need closure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But for me, I already done sat in jail or I done already dealt with things consciously for myself. Like some people feel like because you done something to them, it only registers to them. But whatever I do, it already consciously sit with me. At some point, I sit and I think like, damn, I shouldn't have did that.
That means you have a conscience.
I shouldn't have said that.
Right.
So I already paid for it.
Right.
So no matter how many times you bring it up or you speak on it,
You already know.
I already know.
Right.
So if you bring up something and we address it one time,
Yeah.
that's for you.
Right.
But if you bring it up more than once, now it just starts to be a repetitive thing.
Yeah.
At some point, for me, I gotta move on because you keeping me somewhere where I feel like I already done paid my dues for.
You've
I done
accepted
already
it.
repented for it. I accepted it. And at some point, I have to move on.
Right.
I can't sit there and wait for you to say, oh, I got my closure now, I can move on. Now you giving me position, boy, I'm setting you free, you can move on. Nah, it
Right.
don't work
I had a
like that.
saying when I was in middle school, and it used to be my little joke, right? It used to be like, don't insult my intelligence and don't play with my emotions,
Man,
right? I used to
neither
say that
one.
all the time, right?
Neither one.
And that's a lot of times what that is. People, when they keep repeating the same thing, it's almost as if they're saying without saying that you don't get it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, what do I have to do for you to understand? Like, I got it. And I don't need you to tell me. I can tell myself. You know what I'm saying? And how long and how far does this have to go for you to just leave me alone? Because I'm good. I get it. And at some point, it's like, on their end, it's like the ego, like that entitlement, like this idea of like, really just entitlement, like this idea of like, it got to be the way I wanted to be for it to be some closure versus we had our conversation, we spoke our piece, and I can live and deal with it. It's like, I got to damn near force it upon you to get it, if that makes sense.
It do.
And that's a lot to bear. You know what I mean? And that's why now a lot of people think that I'm offish or I don't want to talk to people, I don't want to deal with people, but I just know what come with people. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, I can't think of the term, but I did like a psychoanalysis on myself because I want to make sure that I'm not, people think, like my mother always say, my biggest problem is I don't care, but she don't understand that I do care. I just know what's worth that energy, right? I'm not going to sit around and complain and pout or be in my feelings about everything that happened. Really, I'm not going to be in my feelings about nothing because, like you said, I had a conversation with myself. And once I do that, it's really like talking to God, right? It's like you having a conversation with yourself to bring some understanding to whatever the situation is. So now because I did that, it's like it is what it is. I can live freely with it because I did my due diligence. And I don't need nobody to tell me if I'm right or wrong because I already did that to myself. And I'm not delusional with it. I'm not trying to tell myself what I believe I want to hear. And honestly, I don't think nobody will be more honest with me than I will with myself.
With yourself.
Because I feel like a lot of times when I'm talking to people, I feel like they're trying to say what's right or they're not trying to offend me. They're not trying to tell me what I need to hear. They just trying to like butter it up. And I wasn't raised like that. Mm-hmm. Like my uncle, the type, I remember one time I came outside, bro, and I ain't had no socks on. And this is like during the HIV/AIDS epidemic. And I came outside with no socks on and I'm running outside excited, like on some goofy shit. And my uncle was just like, nigga, why the fuck is you out here with no socks and shoes on, nigga? You gonna step on the needle, catch AIDS, ball up and die. And he didn't literally mean it like that, but his point is, nigga, don't do shit like that because you playing.
Waking you up. You
playing. And as soon as he said it, I got it. I didn't get in my feelings. I didn't cry about it. I was like, I didn't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I was, that's how, you know, even my father, he talked strong, but it's with a certain intent. Like a lot of times.
But that's how I am though. It's like because of how I grew up, people was more aggressive with me. So it's this thing where it's not how I'm saying it, it's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Boom, you hit it right on the nose. Perfect.
People get more offended at what you saying, who you talking to like that?
They're not listening.
They're just listening to what I'm trying to tell you though. Because at some point it's gonna help you.
You ever had a conversation with somebody and how you may be saying what you're saying may rub them the wrong way, but what you're saying is
I'm a Sagittarius. We get straight to the point.
And you saying what they need to hear, and in that moment when you having a conversation, they rebellious, but then a couple days later or a week later or whenever the next time you talk to them, they hit you with the, nah, you was right. And it's like, why couldn't you get that while I was saying it in that moment? You had to sit back after the fact and really dwell on what I was saying. You realize like, damn, I might not liked how he was saying it, but he was right. He wasn't telling me nothing wrong. He wasn't attacking my character or trying to antagonize me or belittle me. He was just saying passionately what he knew I needed to hear. Mm-hmm. And it always take people time after the conversation to get it. And early on, it used to bother me. It's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not disrespectful. I don't talk to people crazy. I'm not about to curse you out, call you out your name, but I'm going to tell you something most people probably not telling you that you need to hear. And because you're not used to that, and the people that you around, like you said, like, people pleasing, they trying to stay your friend, not understanding like this is a real friend. Like how my uncle talked to me, some people might look at it crazy, but I know he loved me. And he not telling me nothing trying to hurt my feelings, but that's just how he is. And it comes to understanding, right? We all our own individuals. Just because my mother talked to me like that don't mean the next woman gonna talk to me like that. Just because my father or uncle or my brother or cousin talk to me like that don't mean the next man gonna talk to me like that.
But what people fail to realize, a lot of things that hurt you help you.
Yeah, facts.
Like when you put your, like they tell you don't touch that stove. You don't understand it till you touch it. It hurts you, and now you know. I'm not touching that stove.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
So,
facts. What you want to leave off with?
Bully the fully.
Yeah, let them know where to find you. The music, the YouTube, everything. Let them know where to find you, where to stream the music.
Instagram, resiliently relentless. resiliently_relentless, Instagram, YouTube, bully, DA, fully on YouTube. I got a new EP on the way. I want y'all to tap into that, be looking for that. Some new videos I'm about to drop. And you know, it's a little more stuff that behind scenes that I'm working on. Just gotta stay tuned and tap in.
Nah, for sure. And I want to say this, bro. I enjoy this conversation, bro. And that's the thing about my interviews, bro, that my intention is to just have a real transparent conversation where I can really listen and learn and just have my little input. But I like to listen more than I talk. And these my type of interviews, bro. Like you got a lot of wisdom in you, a lot of intellect, and I can hear the pain of your message, but also the overcoming of it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff you're saying it so effortlessly. A lot of people don't understand, like, it's not that easy to be that transparent, right? And you're effortless with it. So I commend that. I appreciate it just giving me that. Another thing is, too, I wanted to say, do you have any shout outs you want to give? Just anybody you want to mention, whether somebody you lost, just anything. Any shout outs you want to give, anything.
I want to shout out to my mother.
For sure.
You know, giving me birth, giving me life, no matter what we go through. I want to shout out to my wife for staying down with me, always supporting me through the stuff I took her through. And
she in here right now.
Yeah. Support her. Boss Chick TV, Boss Chick Boutique. To my brother, Azo202 on Instagram. You know, he always come through, one of my #1 supporters. To my aunt that raised me, Catherine McDuffie, rest her soul. And just to all my men, you know, DCB, Dirty Corner for Life, mob shit. You know, we in here. This shit family. Whatever I do, everybody with it. Like, I'm bringing everybody with me. Like, this all our story. This all us together. It ain't no me's, no you's. Like, this all us. Shout out to the team.
I love that. I love that.
And my babies. Kayla, Sai, Sophie, Savannah, Kariah. You know, we going up.
Man, shout out, man. And I want to say one last thing before we wrap this up. This man got his own camera, right? He got his own equipment.
Yeah.
So he ain't no artist or no individual that's sitting around waiting on nothing, right? If he got to get it done, he going to figure it out. So I just got to put that out there. You ain't sitting back waiting on nobody to make no moves for you. You're going to take initiative and you're going to put you're going to move your own needle, right? And I just want to put that out there. I commend that, bro. I appreciate you, Brody. No question. I love this shit, bro. This is why I do it, bro. It's a pleasure to meet you. I appreciate you taking the time out to do this.
I appreciate
your
time.
And this a classic, bro. I love this conversation, bro. One thing I love to do, bro, while I'm editing is really sit back, because I know it's some stuff that we talked about that I might have forgot, or, you know what I'm saying, because we've been talking so long. But when I watch it over and really listen again, like, that should do something for me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of jewels, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of game that you dropped in this interview that I know somebody could learn from. And I just appreciate you, bro. I
appreciate you.
Y'all go follow him. Y'all go support him. Y'all go tap in. Y'all go stay tuned. Y'all keep up what he got going on, man. This is a stand-up man, y'all. Real live, a stand-up man. And we need to put more people like this on platforms and show, like, it's more than just foolishness going on out here. It's people with a real message, real purpose, real intention that got, you know, good character, good heart, good morals, good principles, and they stand on it. So don't let your past dictate who you are now. Don't hold on too hard to that. You know, it's okay to grow, it's okay to change, and it's okay to just better yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And like you said, just be a great person, man. And so that's what we promoting. We promoting being just great men. And I just want to say that, man, this is an example of that right here. A great man, great father, husband, leader in his community. Even though he say he humble, we know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just shout out, bro. And like you said, this Out the Mud, another great episode, y'all. Like I said, y'all go tap in. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. And y'all tap in and follow and support them, y'all. This ain't about me. This is about the guests. And I just want to make sure that y'all just do y'all due diligence to tap into everybody that's on here, man. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. And we out. We clocking out.
Shout out to Out the Mud.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.